Carly Goshen will send it over, and the Mustangs will keep it alive. Now the attack from the far side, and it's down for the kill. Olivia Dorins. Chloe Hertz. Hertz pushes it in back there to Schmidt. Shot from the point. It's in! Off the stick of Taylor Leonards, excuse me, and it's 3-0. Taylor Leonards with the third goal for the Bismarck Blizzard on the shot from the point on the far side. And the Blizzard are running on all cylinders here in period number 41-37, 4:25 to go here as the Kindred Vikings will work it down low. Another slam dunk and one. How about that? A slam dunk by Gavin Keller, and he got fouled on the two-handed throwdown. Kennedy Kuntz will pop that one up left center field. It's going back, and we have our first grand slam of the All-Star Series in 3 years. Hansen under center, drops back, looks near side. I believe that's Fulmo, and he's got it. Fargo South touchdown.
Kaylee Jackson, three-pointer up, and no, that one won't go in. Tana Litt pulls down the deep offensive board. She'll put up a three. That one's in, we're tied.
Groffman won't be able to control it. The ball will escape over to the far sideline. Fargo Davies will come up that far sideline, and a nice through ball there, and this could be an opportunity. Centering pass, one-on-one. Was she outside? She was not. It's 1-0 Fargo Davies. Bad pitch here, and the bases are loaded. Line drive right into center field, and that will score one run. And rounding thirds, Rorich, and he'll score. It's a two-run RBI double for Casey Reber. Shot from the point, Bree Adams, lowering hard, and it's in! Off the stick of Sydney Canstrup, and the Cougars are on the board! Press box here, the best we're able to. That one's going high left field, and running for it is Schwab, and she makes a diving catch! Wow, what a play by Cameron Schwab, the junior in left field, to end the inning.
Fantastic catch.
All right, welcome. We're at Fargo South High School here, Brant Kwame Field. It is a toasty day today for a soccer game. It's the type of temperatures that you'd expect to have at a softball game in May, not a September soccer game, but we'll get through it here. Last check, it was 90 degrees. We will be in the upper 80s for the duration of this game. There's no doubt about that. Let's go ahead and take a look at our on the map. Our Lifetime Network stats. We've done 510 games now, and this will be game 511 in 31 cities and towns. As of last Friday, when we covered that Kindred Hazen game, Hazen became the 85th team that we've broadcasted here on the Magnitude Sports Media Network in a couple of different states, and over 75,000 website visits, 700 plus YouTube subscribers. I know we're over 1,300 now on the Twitter followers. We need to update that, and I think our Facebook's up to 390. And so that's all awesome. We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at NDSportsCH1, and you can like us on Facebook, facebook.com/msportsmnet. Is the link for Facebook, or just to make it easier, just search Magnitude Sports. As I said earlier, it is hot, so we might be stumbling over words here. So with that said, we'll get into our first break. When we come back, we'll look at the team profiles for both the Bruins and the Mustangs, and much more when we continue after this on the Andy Sports Channel.
Diamond Academy and Magnitude Sports Media Network are providing a huge opportunity for high school athletes. Player profile videos shine the spotlight on a skill set required for a position in a particular sport. Whether you play softball, track and field, or any other sport, if you're a sophomore or junior, it's time to schedule your video. Most tapings take less than an hour and can save you thousands when a recruiter puts your name in the starting lineup for a college scholarship. For more information, click on Player Profiles at msportsnet.com or call us at 701-373-1843.
Download Game Time today.
Magnet.
All right, welcome back to Brant Kwame Field here in South Fargo. Let's go ahead and take a look as we're about 2 minutes away from the national anthem and the opening announcements here at Brant Kwame Field. We'll start with the West Fargo Sheyenne Mustangs. They come into this one here with an overall record of 5 wins, 1 loss, and 4 ties. It seems like we've had a lot of ties in this 2019 season of soccer for all the EDC teams, not just the Mustangs. They're 3-0-2 at home. When they're playing on the road or neutral field, they're 2-1-2, and they're 4-1-4 against EDC opponents. Started off the season with that 5-1 win over Legacy in Jamestown, and then a 2-2 tie, a 0-0 tie, and then a 3-0 win over Fargo South. Now, since that game back on August 27th, the Bruins have really stepped it up, and this will be, without question, one of their bigger challenges throughout the last couple of games. They've had West Fargo, they took care of them. They had Grand Forks Central about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, handed them their first loss of the season. Grand Forks Central has struggled ever since, which has allowed their counterpart, Grand Forks Red River, to sneak up into that number 5 spot in the standings, and depending on what happens today, we could see some changes in that top 4. But before we get into that, let's go to the Fargo South Bruins, who come into this one 7-2-1. As I mentioned a little bit ago, they started off with a 1-0 loss to Fargo Davies, a very good team, played in the state championship game last year. Then they picked up their first win over the Spartans, 3-0. And then a 1-0 win over the Moorhead Spuds, which was actually a really good game, even though it was a non-conference game here. And then the 3-0 loss to Sheyenne that we talked about just seconds ago. And since then, a 2-0 win over Red River, a 3-1 win over Shanley, a 5-1 win over the Central Knights, a 3-2 win over West Fargo, then the 0-0 tie that we had for you on the ND Sports Channel just a few days ago against Fargo Davies, and then they would pick up a 4-1 win over Fargo North, bringing them into tonight's game. So here's kind of what things look like right now in the EDC and the WDA as well, for that matter. Top 4 teams from each conference will make the state tournament. Fargo Davies has Red River tonight. Grand Forks Central has Fargo North tonight. I would suspect it's possible that the Knights might have a good opportunity to win that game, and if they do, they'll be bumped up to 18 points in the standings, which would put them in second place, depending on what happens here with Fargo South and Sheyenne. If Sheyenne wins, they'll get bumped up to 19 points and would hope for a Fargo Davies loss to Red River. And if the Eagles lost and the Mustangs won this game, we would have a 3-way tie at first place with the Grand Forks Central Knights in second place by 1 point. It'd be 18 points for the Knights and 19 points for the Mustangs, Bruins, and the Eagles if the games would work out that way today. But
where we are hosting the
we
West
still have
Fargo
a
Sheyenne
couple of
Mustangs
hours before that all
and your
becomes
Fargo South
official.
Bruins.
That's only what
On behalf of
speculation
Fargo
here,
South
and we don't
Team
cheer
and
for
Dance,
one
we extend
team
a
or
warm
another
welcome to the
team.
Mustangs.
So keep that in mind. Over in the WDA, Bismarck Demons leading the way with 20 points, followed by the Jamestown Blue Jays and the Century Patriots. Legacy Sabres and the Minot Magicians trailing close behind. Will be a tough race there for the Magicians and the Sabres. Once again, top 4 teams in each, the EDC and the WDA will make the state tournament.
Please stand and remove your hats while Victoria Powell.
Other games going on today: Mandan at Jamestown, Shanley at West Fargo, Fargo North at Grand Forks Central, Minot at Legacy, Red River at Fargo Davies, and Century at Bismarck. Coming up next after the national anthem, our final thoughts. We'll get you ready for the kick right here on the ND Sports Channel.
Diamond Academy and Magnitude Sports Media Network are providing a huge opportunity for high school athletes. Player profile videos shine the spotlight on a skill set required for a position in a particular sport. Whether you play softball, track and field, or any other sport, if you're a sophomore or junior, it's time to schedule your video. Most tapings take less than an hour and can save you thousands when a recruiter puts your name in the starting lineup for a college scholarship. For more information, click on Player Profiles at msportsnet.com or call us at 701-373-1843.
Download Game Time today.
Magnitude Sports Media Network is your home for all types of sports programming in a 3-state region. Over 500 previous games are available right now on demand. Since 2017, we've brought you an average of 275 games a year, including junior varsity and varsity matchups across 8 different sports. Now we're on pace for the same amount of games this year. It's a whole lot of sports, and it's all right here. We're North Dakota.
All right, welcome back. We're going to go through the starting lineups now. We'll turn it over to our PA announcer.
Number 4, Dylan Sight. Starting on defense, junior number 5, Brady Lambert. Starting at midfield, junior number 6, Kai Black. Starting at forward, junior number 7, Caden Aberly. Starting on defense, senior number 9, Melvin Dennis. Starting at midfield, senior number 10, Hussein Mohammed. Starting at midfield, junior number 11, Abraham Colley. Starting on defense, junior number 13, Jackson Kuznia. Starting on defense, junior number 18, Seth Kotzbacher. And starting at midfield, junior number 21, Anis Mohammed. The Mustangs are coached by Darim Mani, Randy Cernick, Thomas Schroeder, Jacob Anderson, and head coach John Melendez. And now for the home team on the scoreboard, the Fargo South Bruins. Starting in the goal, sophomore 00, Krishna Puwar. Starting on defense, junior number 2, Bishal Monger. Starting on defense, senior number 3, Pacific Sibomana. Starting on defense, junior number 6, Taylor Labungo. Starting at forward, senior number 7, Shasit Tamang. Starting at midfield, senior number 9, Eldon Johnson. Starting at midfield, senior number 10, Nobin Gurung. Starting at forward, senior number 11, Zachary Muhudin. Starting at forward, senior number 12, Najesh Monger. Starting at forward, junior number 13, Riley Martin. And starting on defense, freshman number 23, Jager Wallstead.
I know I've told you, but it's certainly nice to have him in charge. That way I can focus on this. So whatever he wants to do,
And head coach Amar Batres.
I will have no problem with that. If there's an issue with it, I will take it up with him instead of you. Fair enough?
For providing athletic training personnel for today's game. Today's trainer is Levi Tandy. We are thankful and appreciate these services.
All right, so there's your starting lineups here for the Fargo South Bruins and the Sheyenne Mustangs. That sun has gotten behind the clouds just at the most perfect time possible. And I'm going to pull up the shade just a little bit here. That way I can see out the window. We got the binoculars here. We left them at the Bismarck Legacy football game, and thankfully they did not go missing. And now we have the binoculars back for all of our future games, as long as I don't leave it behind here at the press box here in Fargo South High School. Also want to give a shout out to the activities director, Mike Beaton, also for sending me the email today saying, hey, there's a box with your name on it. And one of our counterparts here at the Andy Sports Channel left that box here, mistakenly, I would presume. And now we've recovered that box of goodies. So thank you very much. Appreciate that. We're just seconds away from the opening kick here on the Andy Sports Channel. The Fargo South Bruins will be in their home yellowish gold jerseys with white numbers, while the Mustangs will be in their white jerseys with the, I believe, their blue numbers outlined in orange, although I haven't paid attention out there just quite yet to see exactly what's going on. So the Mustangs will be in their white jerseys with blue numbers outlined in orange. Excellent. It worked out perfectly. Mustangs will be moving from right to left as you see it on your screen, and the Fargo South Bruins will be moving from left to right as we're going to open up the other. There we go. Now I can see out both windows here today, and we're underway here. Our clock is within a few seconds here, so we will keep you posted with audio cues the whole time here as far as how much time is remaining in the half. 39:40. We're 5 seconds off, so we'll make an adjustment on the clock here. Try and get that right on for you. All right, there we go. We'll go with that. We'll go with that time there, which is right on. 39:03. Give or take about a half a second on that one there. Jagger Ralstad there gets in a collision with Hussein Muhammad. And now the Mustangs will work it over to the far side and into the hands of Krishna Puwar, the sophomore goalie here for Fargo South, is in net. Over on the flip side, I believe it is Cooper Savelson is the starting goalie. I had to check that one. Still no score here with about 38:20 and counting to go in the first half of play. Free kick coming up here for the Mustangs. I think my microphone was a little hot there, and I apologize for that. We just made that adjustment. So here comes the free kick, and it goes right off the shoulder there, or maybe the side, because if it was a shoulder, it would have been a handball. And now the whistle will come in, and I'll stop play momentarily here with 37:50 and counting to go. And I will set up a goal kick here or a free kick inside the goal box is what I intended to say. And I believe that's Lubungo with the free kick coming up here. Take a peek through the binoculars to see if I'm incorrect on that or not. I am not. That is indeed the junior defenseman, Taylor Lubungo. Over on Shanley TV, they got girls volleyball between Shanley and the West Fargo Packers. So if that match has any interest of you, you can log on. You can search Shanley TV on YouTube or go to shanleytv.com and check out that game there. This one should be a good one here. It's a battle for, well, I don't know if you want to say if it's a battle for, it's probably more a battle to stay in the top four. That one got off the crossbar and a lucky break there for Fargo South. Wow, you could not get any luckier than that right there. That should be 1-0 West Fargo Cheyenne, but that was not the case. As Puar will boot that one away over midfield to be headed right back up. It's nice contact on the ball there by Fargo South. Now they'll work the ball up the near side of the field here. Trying to center it there for Fargo South was Naresh Mangar. And it'll go out of bounds for a goal kick here for the Mustangs. So once again, 0-0. It says shots on net too. That's not accurate. Let's get that changed. And we'll give one over here. And now that is accurate. If it... Okay, it's not... Oh, that now the score changed. All right, so that's accurate now. Shots on net, 1-0 in favor of the Mustangs. Are still scoreless with 35-17. The only thing that stayed the same during all that was the clock. And we'll try and get the camera on the action here. There we go. Setting up for the free kick, there's Nobin Gurung. And Gurung will send it in towards the net, right into the hands of Sylvaelson. So that'll be a shot on goal for the Bruins, and now we're knotted up at 1 apiece here for our shots on net. Sylvaelson will boot that one away. Comes onto the foot of Ralstad, now advancing it up there was Gurung. Gurung will see that ball poked away there by number 22 for West Fargo. Sheyenne is not on my roster. We'll try and track that one down for you. I do not have a number 22. Unless it was 21, then it was Anas Mohammed. 34:07 and counting to go here in the first half of play. Scoreless. We'll try and keep you up to date on any of the other games as soon as we get scores. I know we reached out hoping to get updates from that Fargo Davies Grand Forks Red River game. And we'll see if they hold on to their part of the bargain or not. If they don't, no big deal, but we'd love to get scores from that game. That's one of the big games that the fans of these two teams will want to keep their eyes on there, as both fans of the Bruins and the Mustangs would, in theory, want to cheer for the Red River Rough Riders to defeat Fargo Davies. So that would put both of these teams up 1 in the standings. Comes to the near side here. They'll drop it back to Ralstad. Ralstad will give it back there to Sibomana. Sibomana will advance it up. And can't quite see who that was. That was, I believe that was Alvin Johnson. Down the rung, and a free kick on the horizon here for the Mustangs. So they'll work it over far side there. I believe that's Kuznia. And Kuznia will try and boot it up, but it's taken away there by Fargo South. And some nice ball possession there, at least for the moment, before it was poked away there by the Mustangs, Brady Lambert. And now a couple touches later, Kai Black. Ball will come loose. And a battle for it right around midfield. Looks like the Bruins will get the possession of it. Nice job there, and a nice hustle by Nobin Gurung. Gurung will feed it back and put it upfield, and it was intercepted there by the Mustangs. Bashal Monger over on the far side there. Tries to put the through ball up, but there's no Bruins there to take advantage of it. And there'll be a goal kick here for Sylvaelson. Sylvaelson, a sophomore. If I'm saying that incorrectly, please text us at 701-373-1843 with the phonetic spelling, and I'll make sure that I get it right there. Ball's fed up to the near corner, out of bounds, I believe, on the left side of the flag, which will result in a goal kick as it was last touched by Fargo South. 31.5 to go here. So Sibomano will toss it in from the near sideline here. That's chested and headed up the field there by Elvin Johnson. Johnson normally has those, I think it was bright green shoes, but can't really, looks like his teammate has the green shoes on today. Here's a shot on goal, and it is over the top of the net. Nice opportunity there for Fargo South. A little bit over 30 minutes to go. Almost 10 minutes gone here in the first half. And a goal kick from the top of the 6 there for the Mustangs. They'll boot that one upfield, right down the middle. Bounce a couple times. The Mustangs will maintain control of it for the moment before it's booted away there by Fargo South. Almost all the way down to the goal, and that one goes out of bounds and on the near side of the flag, so that'll be a throw-in for Fargo South.
Email his office, because it will say email the doctor. What you just need to say is something like,
So the throw-in will come in there onto the foot of Shashi Tamang, excuse me, and now a whistle will blow, and that will stop the clock. No signal yet. No, the clock will continue to tick for the moment. It'll just be a verbal warning. Also on our network of stations, it is the Warbirds and the Oak Grove Grovers High School Volleyball. It's on Coach Lowell Sports. You can find that under the stations button at msportsnet.com if that matchup interests you. So we got 3 games covered here on our network of stations. And I believe we don't have the link up yet, but we should, and that's our bad. We have a link for the Skyhawk Gazette that will feature all the Shiloh Christian games, or at least a majority of them this year. And all of those are friends and or stations of the Magnitude Sports Media Network. So we have some cross-promotion agreements set with some schools and some media outlets. So that's one of the reasons that we are able to put those games on our network. So they give us that permission to do so via that agreement. 28-27 and counting here, and here's a rush for the Mustangs. Can they set something up? Can they get an opportunity? They get it on the foot of Hussein Muhammad, but that one will be poked away, but the Mustangs will maintain possession. Punching it back in is Dylan Sipe. Now the ball comes loose over to the far side there. Mustangs will pick it up, and that'll eventually be scooped up there by Puar. Nice little advancement of the ball there by Nurung off the back of his shoe. And that was Nabungo. Far side there, Muhudin. That is Zachary Muhudin, I believe, is how you say it.
In for the Bruins, number 25, Austin Scott.
And now Austin Scott into the lineup there. And that shot will go behind the goal. 27-12 and counting. So not used to hearing a band at a soccer game, to be honest with you. Usually they're not allowed to play music during the course of play, but I want to go up high and over the top. .26:45 and counting to go here. That'll be touched up there on the foot of Dylan Sipe, and then taken away by the Bruins, and then poked away there by Kai Black. As the ball is advanced upfield, Bruins will collect possession of it initially. Headed up by Ralstad. Slipping there was Gurung, and Kai Black will pick it up and try and advance it back up the field here. And out of bounds. I'm gonna be 100% honest. That band is a little bit distracting to me. I'm not used to it at all. So I apologize if that affects the play-by-play here, but we'll do our best to have it not affect us. That'll be booted out of there by Puar. And now the Mustangs will get it back, but on the pass up, it did end up on the foot there of Muhammad. And now they'll try and feed it back into Muhammad. Muhammad trying to get around a couple defenders, and he scores! Hussein Muhammad on the goal. And the Mustangs are on the board first.
Scoring for the Mustangs, number 10, Hussein Mohammed.
So 25-24, we'll leave our clock sit there for the next 5 seconds after play starts. That'll be Alvin Johnson for the Bruins here.
In for the Bruins, number 5, Sagar Gurung.
And And Sargar Gurung is into the lineup now for the Bruins as well. So back to play now. Bruins will tap it back here, and we'll start our clock now. As it's picked up along the near sideline here and taken away by Abraham Hawley Jr. And Hawley Jr. will advance up the near sideline here. Watch the ball go out of bounds as he tried to battle with the ball there with Pacifique Sibomana. Sibomana will make the toss in, and along the near sideline here, the ball comes loose, and the Bruins will pick it up. And that'll be booted right back out of bounds for a throw-in here for Fargo South. With a little under 25 minutes to go here in the first half of play. The Mustangs on the board first with a goal from Hussein Muhammad. Something tells me this both teams are going to score at least one goal in this game. I don't think we've seen the end of the scoring yet in this one. Need to add another shot on net there, as that shot apparently didn't get added when we touched the button last time. So the Bruins need to recover here, and Ralstad will touch up on it right around midfield, advance it up, and then the ball will continue to be advanced up, eventually onto the foot of Shashit Tamang. Tamang will see that ball escape near sideline here for Alvin Johnson. Johnson trying to dribble around one of the defenders there, makes a move and tries to cut in, but then finds another defender there and can't create anything more than that. He will get the ball back temporarily, and now a whistle will come in, and Hussein Muhammad throws his hands out, has a couple words or two with the official, doesn't agree with that call, and the clock will continue to tick with 23:35 and a free kick here for the Fargo South Bruins as Austin Scott will set it up about 32, 33 yards away from the net. Austin Scott, number 25 there for Fargo South. And now they'll move the ball a little bit closer to about 30 yards away from the net. The clock is now stopped at 23:22. I did not see the official put the hands up for the stop clock, so we will make a manual adjustment on that clock here momentarily.
In for the Mustangs, number 8, Robin Magar.
23:22 is the official time remaining in the first half. We'll just keep it on 23:06 until it reaches that point. So, now yeah. All right, now we're ready to play, and the free kick will go headed up over the goal for a corner kick here for Fargo South. And we'll go ahead and start our clock now. Corner kick will be sent in and headed towards the goal, but on the outside of the far post. So a couple more shots on net here for the Bruins in the last 20 seconds or so, and now set up the free kick from the 6 for the Mustangs, and they'll shoot it out to the far side. Ball bounced around here, and Austin Scott will touch up on it, but the Mustangs will get it right back. On the foot of the goal scorer there, Hussein Muhammad. Muhammad will advance it up, and they're going to say he was offsides, and I do agree with that. It was just so by a little bit, but he was indeed offsides on the far sideline there. He got in front of that last defender before the ball was passed to him. If the ball leaves the foot of the passer, at that point, that opposing or that teammate can go in front of the final defender, but until that happens, they cannot do that and be offsides. The ball will come in here onto the foot of Pacifique Sibomana. Sibomana being challenged there by Hussein Muhammad. Ball will get loose. The Mustangs will try and boot it back upfield here. He'll drop right around midfield. Battle for the ball there. Lubongo is one of the players in on that mix there. And throw in from the far side here for the Mustangs. So Mustangs lead 1-0 off a goal by Hussein Muhammad. With approximately 24, 25 minutes remaining.
In for the Mustangs, number 2, Depeche Rana.
For Minnesota sports fans, we do have some good news for you. We finally got a schedule put together for the Minnesota Sports Station, and we'll have our first game this coming Thursday. That's 2 days from now. It'll be a high school volleyball match between the Barnesville Trojans. They'll be the home team, and they'll be hosting the Breckenridge Cowgirls. And that should be a good matchup. One of the Cowgirls with only 3 losses, one of them to the Trojans in a 3-2 5-set thriller earlier this season. So that should be a good matchup. And we are looking forward to it this Thursday, 7 p.m. Tune in for that one. I believe the first serve is actually at 7:30. But we're saying 7 because they seem to have a lot of different 7 and 7:30 and 7:15 start times in Minnesota for volleyball. So we're going to say 7 to be on the safe side, but it could be as late as 7:30. Of course, you can check our website. That has the official time on it, to the best of our knowledge, msportsnet.com. And under the games button, click on stream schedule. You can check out all the upcoming games on all of our stations. That one will be booted away here. And Austin Scott will touch it first, and now the Bruins will try and take possession. Try to feed the ball in the middle there, but it's headed away by a Mustang defender, and the Mustangs battling for it. Bruins keep possession of the ball. That was Gurung, tries to feed it in, but it's poked away there by a Mustang defender onto the foot of Caden Aberly, junior forward for the West Fargo Sheyenne Mustangs. And let's see here. And they will stop the clock here with 19:07 to go. And it looks like the teams are heading to the bench. So the teams are heading to the bench, so we're in a pause right now in 19:07 remaining in the first half. I'm not exactly sure what the delay is. Checking the weather here to make sure. I don't think there's any weather in the area. All right, so I was just given this information here, and this is something that's never happened in any of our soccer broadcasts because it's never been in the upper 80s, lower 90s for a soccer game. But every 20 minutes, they'll take a break for a water break. So we learned something new today. So that's what we're in right now. We're in a water break. We'll take a quick time out here and be back in a moment on the ND Sports Channel.
Good sportsmanship. It will carry you further in life than sports. Growing up in North Dakota, I learned to respect my opponents, the coaches, and the officials. The values of fairness and teamwork carried me to the highest level of my sport and allowed me to live my dream of playing football in the NFL. It doesn't matter if you're on the stage, the playing field, or in the stands. We are all better when we show respect for others and practice good sportsmanship. Carry yourself with dignity. Being gracious makes the losses easier and the victories that much sweeter. So when the lights on the playing field, the stage, or the gym floor dim.
All right, we're going to come out of that there as we had action close to the goal as we just restarted the match here after the 20-minute water break. Once again, we started this game with a temperature of 91 degrees. I would presume we're in the upper 80s at the moment. See here, current temp. Current temp is, trying to pull it up here, 82 degrees outside right now. We'll stay in the low 80s.
In for the Bruins,
So
number 12, Najesh Mongart, number 14, Sujan Gal,
It has cooled down
and number
considerably
16, Ramesh Mangar.
since the start of this game. That's the good news.
In for the Mustangs,
downside
number 13, Jackson Kuznia.
is that it's still pretty warm out there with a temperature of 82 at 7:30 in the evening. So Sibomano will toss it in. So that one's booted away. Alvin Johnson will feed it up. Here's an opportunity. Centering pass is there. Can they get it on? And no, it's going to go a little bit wide. Came off the foot of Nobin Gurung and just went a little bit wide of the net. Shot on net there for each team, as we forgot to add the last one for the Mustangs. Resulting in a corner kick here, and that corner kick will be taken by Mahudin. I believe that's Mahudin on the near corner. Nope, check that. That's Nobin Gurung. And Gurung will send it in high, and it will go directly out of bounds. The Mustangs will let it go, and that'll be a goal kick here for West Fargo Sheyenne. 1-0 off a goal by Hussein Muhammad about 10 minutes ago at approximately the 25 minute mark, and that's been the only scoring so far, although the Bruins do have more shots on net. Once again, this is a big game here for both of these teams. If the Mustangs win and Davies loses to Grand Forks Red River, we'll have a three-way tie for first place at the top of the EDC. And right now, I don't have a score on that Eagles Rough Riders game, but at the moment, it looks good for Sheyenne. Sheyenne wants to win here regardless of what happens with Fargo Davies. Because a win here by Sheyenne would tie Fargo South and West Fargo Sheyenne in second. And then if Fargo Davies were to win, that would leave them alone in first. If I'm not, and I do believe that Fargo South has the tiebreaker over both of these teams. Or check that, I meant to say Fargo Davies has the tiebreaker over both of these teams. So, due to the tiebreaker, Fargo Davies would be all alone in first place if they win and the Mustangs win this game here. But the Bruins will not make that easy. So that ball will be chipped out of bounds here for throwing with a little over 15 minutes to go in the first half. Some contact on the near side here and a whistle and yeah, you might have heard the fans in the background there saying, "You're kidding me." They're awarding the free kick to Fargo South. Not 100% sure if that was the right call or not. I mean, it was tough contact there, and it did appear that Caden Aberle maybe initiated that contact. And at worst case, probably just do a drop ball if you're not sure. But I'm not 100% confident that that was the correct call, but we're going to go with it. 14 and 20 and counting to go here in the first half. Mustangs will get the ball back. Right now it's on the foot there of, that is Holly Jr. Holly Jr. feeds it up to Magar. Magar along the near sideline, and that ball will go out of bounds for a throw-in for the, for the Mustangs. And making the toss, there's Melvin Dennis. And that one's booted right back out of bounds, and we'll have another throw in here for the Mustangs. Headed out of bounds there by Jager Ralstad.
In for the Mustangs, number 10, Hussein Mohammed. And in for the Bruins, number 2, Vishal Mangar, and number 13, Riley Martin.
So Mohammed, the goal scorer, will come in. That'll give Caden Aberly a breather on the sideline there for the Mustangs. Well, thank those listening, or I should say watching, and also for those who sent us a few text messages here. We certainly appreciate the information, and please feel free to, if you have any scores, send those to us as well, and as soon as we get them, we'll pass them along to you here on the ND Sports Channel. Once again, on Coach Lau Sports, which you can find under the stations button at msportsnet.com, you can see the Waimea Lidgewood Warbirds versus the Oak Grove Grovers high school volleyball game. That is live on our website right now at msportsnet.com under the stations button. Click on Coach Lau Sports. Coach Lowell, excuse me, Sports. And then also over on Shanley TV, which you can also find under our stations button. It is the Shanley Deacons hosting the West Fargo Packers in high school volleyball. So if that matchup interests you, we will certainly encourage you to check that one out. Feel free to flip back and forth here. Ralstad will advance it upfield, but it's touched up there by Hawley Jr., and Hawley Jr. will pop it over far side where the Bruins will regain possession of it. Try and advance it upfield where it's first touched there by a Mustang. They'll get it onto the foot there of, I believe that is Robin Magar, and it was. Ball will go out of bounds. Throw in here for the Bruins. That's Naresh Mangar. Or no, check that. I guess it's going to go back to the Mustangs. So the throw-in will come into Muhammad. Muhammad will center it in there onto the foot of Dylan Sight back to Muhammad. Muhammad will try and send it upfield, but Labunga will boot it right back. Now the Bruins will take it upfield. Be touched up on there by the back line. I believe Melvin Dennis touched it last, but we'll see. Nope, it will be a goal kick for the Mustangs, so the Bruins touched it last. 10:43 and counting to go here in the first half of play. Ball bounced right around midfield there, and now battle for possession, and a whistle will be sounded, and it'll be a free kick for the Mustangs. It's going down to the ground there was Abraham Hawley Jr. Off some contact with one of the Fargo South players. Didn't quite catch the jersey number on that player. 10-12. They should, you know what? I'm getting used to the band now. They should have them at every soccer game. Puts a little bit more energy into the game. And we'll have a stoppage of the clock here and possibly a card coming on the horizon here. And he does indeed pull out the yellow card, and that yellow card will be delivered there to Fargo South's Ramesh Mangar, senior midfielder. And so he'll have to go out for a few moments. Official quickly giving an explanation of the yellow card to the coach as Mangar comes off. Manger, excuse me, comes off. Once again, you get the Bruins and the Mustangs here on the ND Sports Channel.
Zachary Muhudin.
Substitutions there for Fargo South. Mike Mason with you here on the play-by-play and commentary. Janice working the cameras, and Dylan working camera
And
2.
in for the Mustangs, number 7, Caden Aberly.
As well as playing the role of director here and doing a fine job for his first day on a game here on the ND Sports Channel. Certainly appreciate his willingness to jump in and take over those responsibilities, and doing a great job. Keep it up. Here's a boot up the far sideline, and that will one bounce right into the hands of Puar. It's been a while since we said his name. And that would suggest that Fargo South has kept the pressure down at the other end as Puara booted away all the way up right to midfield, where it's touched up there by the Mustangs. Mustangs will regain possession of it. It was poked away for a moment, and now a loose ball will be picked up by the Bruins. And that will eventually go out of bounds for a Fargo South throw-in. And we'll have another stoppage in the clock here. And I believe another, yep, it is another yellow card. I can't see on the far end who that is, though. I am guessing it was Muhudin who got the yellow card. So the free kick will come from the far side, just off camera there. At least I believe it was off camera on the free. Yes, right on the far sideline there, just in front of the 30-yard line of the football field. That's where the kick's going to come from. So it's approximately 41 yards away from the net.
In for the Bruins on the substitution, number 5, Sagar Gurung.
And the kick will come into the Taylor Lubungo. The junior defenseman is the one who got the yellow card. I was just given that information. Oh, and hey, what do you know? It just popped up on text message too. So almost simultaneous information there, and we appreciate that. Corner kick from the near side for the Mustangs. And we need to make an adjustment on our clock there as it didn't restart.
And for the Mustangs, number 16, Isaiah Williams.
Corner kick comes in. And right over the top of the goal. So the Mustangs get another shot on net here. We're almost even. 5-4 shots on net in favor of the Bruins. But the Bruins have gotten all 5 of those shots pretty early on in this half here. They've been on the other side of the field or in the middle part of the field, but haven't really gotten a lot of shots on net as of recent. Coming up at halftime, we will go over the first half summary here. We'll check that statewide scoreboard, try and get you some scores from some of the other games happening. Let's see here. At halftime, Grand Forks Central leads Fargo North 1-0. That's a game that is going to play a role here in this game as well, depending on who wins and loses. If the Mustangs win and Grand Forks Central wins, then the Grand Forks Central, I believe, will bump up to the number 5 spot due to the fact that there won't be a 3-way tie in points. I'll have to double check there. I don't have that point thing right in front of me at the moment, but I believe. I know the 2 games we're paying attention to is that Grand Forks Central Fargo North game as well as the Fargo Davies Grand Forks Red River game. Those 2 games have a slight and or moderate impact depending on the outcome of this game here between the Bruins and the Mustangs. Halftime score over on the Minnesota side for boys soccer. Moorhead Spuds leading Alexandria 4-0. Some Class B volleyball for you. The Skyhawks of Shiloh Christian taking on the Wilton Wing Miners. Go to skyhawkgazette.com to watch that one. Or you can also search Skyhawk Gazette on YouTube. Once again, the Packers and the Deacons are playing a volleyball match over on Deacons on Shanley TV. And then on Coach Lowell Sports, it's the Oak Grove Grovers and the Whitemere Lidgerwood Warbirds in high school volleyball. So those are some of the live stream video broadcasts that we are aware of right now as the ball will leak out to about midfield, far sideline, and out of bounds for a throw-in for West Fargo Cheyenne. Taking the toss on the far side is Jackson Kuznia, and he'll fire it in there to Hussein Mohammed, who maybe got away with an elbow. No, he didn't. Official will blow the whistle and give the free kick there to Fargo South. So once again, boys soccer, Moorhead leads Alexandria 4-0, and then girls soccer at halftime, the Spuds lead their opponent 3-0. It's the Cardinals. I'm not sure what city or town the Cardinals are from, but Moorhead's leading them 3-0 in girls soccer. And matter of fact, one or both of those, I think the boys game is on Spuds TV. And you can go to spudstv.com. And make sure you put the S in on Spuds, otherwise you'll go to a different website there and you may not like what you see. We'll put it that way. Made that mistake once or twice. Let's see here. Grand Forks Red River is trailing Fargo South in boys tennis 5-3 right now. Bring you more scores here in just a moment. Depending on what happens here, and a whistle, and we will stop the clock with 3:57 and a down Bruin. The Bruin who was slow to get up was Niresh Mangar. Just on the backside of the press box here, the soccer field at Brand Kwame Field, the Bruins are hosting the Valley City Highlanders in the gym for a volleyball match, and the Fargo South Bruins have taken the first set 25-22 over Valley City. We'll keep you updated on that as those scores continue to come in. Most, if not all, of these scores that I mentioned will be retweeted on our Twitter page at ND Sports
In for the Mustangs,
CH1.
number 15, Jacob Angus.
Junior varsity final for you here. The Spartans win 2-0. There's a near shot there for Fargo South. First shot on net in quite some time here for the Bruins. Class B volleyball score for you. Napoleon Gackel Streeter
In for the
defeats
Mustangs, number 5, Brady Lambert.
Strasburg
And number
Zeeland
11, Abraham Colley.
by the score 25-9. That match is tied at a set apiece. Once again, all these scores will be retweeted on our Twitter account at ND Sports CH1. We'd love it if you were to follow us there on that page, and we'd love it if you were to subscribe to our YouTube channels. We'll have some volleyball coming up in the near days here. We'll start it off with a Minnesota matchup between Barnesville and Breckenridge, and then we will have some North Dakota matchups too on the schedule for this volleyball season before it comes to an end. And we are looking for sponsors for one of the region volleyball tournaments. We're looking at Region 1 and Region 5 right now as possibilities, but nothing official. some of the other regions have already been taken up by other media broadcast companies, so that's one less that we have to worry about covering, and we appreciate that. Along the near sideline here, Pacifique Sibomana. And a couple touches later, it goes up front. Elvin Johnson with a shot on goal, and it's in. And the Bruins have tied it up at 1-1. And I told you earlier that the scoring wasn't done in this one
for
yet.
the Bruins, number 9, Elvin Johnson.
And we had an issue with our camera falling over there, and we apologize. All right, there we go. We solved the issue with the camera. That will not happen again, I'm pretty confident. I think my audio cut out there. I'm not sure if it did or not, but like I said, that shouldn't happen again. I do believe we got that fixed. As Puar will boot that one away. Did not see who scored the goal there for Fargo South. We're going to wait for the official goal announcement. And a whistle, and I believe the clock will come to a stop here. And that'll be a yellow card and a potential. I don't know if it happened inside or just outside of the box. If it was inside, we'll have a penalty kick. If it was outside, we'll have a free kick. So it will be a free kick as it's just outside of the 18. And Hussein Muhammad, who scored the goal earlier, appears to be the one who might set up to take this. You also got Caden Aberly, who looks more like the one who will take it now. Right beside him is Dylan Sipe. So as soon as play starts here, our clock will automatically reset to the time that it's supposed to be, which is 1:24. So free kick from about 20 yards away, just barely outside the goal box there. Once again, you got Caden Aberly and Dylan Sipe hanging out around the ball there, and we'll see which one of the two takes the kick. So Aberly, the junior forward, will once again appear to line up for it, and he will indeed take it. Put it right on goal and miss it to the right side. So another shot for the Mustangs. We're tied at 1-1 here between the Bruins and the Mustangs. It was Elvin Johnson who got the goal for Fargo South. Just under a minute to go here in the first half of play. We were at 91 degrees when this one started. Last check, we were at 82, so a significant cool down. Wouldn't mind one bit at all if it dropped to the low 70s here. Still a little bit muggy up here in the press box, but So this one's setting up from about 35 yards away from the net. And he'll put it right to the top of the 18 where it's taken away immediately by Fargo South. As you can see, our clock's a few seconds off there.
2, 1.
And that'll bring us to halftime. Your score, 1-1. Fargo South, West Fargo, Sheyenne, all knotted up here. We'll be back in a moment on the ND Sports Channel with your halftime show.
Diamond Academy and Magnitude Sports Media Network are providing a huge opportunity for high school athletes. Player profile videos shine the spotlight on a skill set required for a position in a particular sport. Whether you play softball, track and field, or any other sport, if you're a sophomore or junior, it's time to schedule your video. Most tapings take less than an hour and can save you thousands when a recruiter puts your name in the starting lineup for a college scholarship. For more information, click on Player Profiles at msportsnet.com or call us at 701-373-1843.
Download Game Time today.
Magnitude Sports Media Network is your home for all types of sports programming in a 3-state region. Over 500 previous games are available right now on demand. Since 2017, we've brought you an average of 275 games a year, including junior varsity and varsity matchups across 8 different sports. Now we're on pace for the same amount of games this year. It's a whole lot of sports, and it's all right here, where North Dakota, Minnesota, and South Dakota teams play. This is the Magnitude Sports Media Network.
Good sportsmanship. It will carry you further in life than sports. Growing up in North Dakota, I learned to respect my opponents, the coaches, and the officials. The values of fairness and teamwork carried me to the highest level in my sport and allowed me to live my dream of playing football in the NFL. It doesn't matter if you're on the stage, the playing field, or in the stands. We are all better when we show respect for others and practice good sportsmanship. Carry yourself with dignity. Being gracious makes the losses easier and the victories that much sweeter. So when the lights on the playing field, the stage, or the gym floor dim, you'll always have pride in yourself.
North Dakota Softball All-Stars podcast with Tim Howe keeps you up to date year-round on the sport of softball in the state of North Dakota. Coach and player interviews, who's moving on to play college softball, and that, well, guess what? That simply scratches the surface of this Grand Slam softball podcast. A new episode every week during the softball season and every month during the off-season. Listen anytime on demand on the ND Sports Channel, a Magnitude Sports Media Network station.
This isn't Madison Square Garden. These drills probably won't make anyone a #1 draft pick. But these players are practicing for something important. While they work on their jump shots, they're also learning teamwork, discipline, self-confidence, how to deal with wins and losses. Skills that will make them winners long after they leave the court. Support high school activities in your community, because when kids take part, they get set for life. This stage is nowhere near Broadway, and none of these actors will be accepting an Oscar anytime soon. Still, they are rehearsing for something important. While they learn their lines, they're also learning teamwork, discipline, self-confidence, that everyone has a part to play. Skills that will make them stars long after the curtain falls. The National Federation of State High School Associations reminds you that when kids take part in high school activities, they get set for life. National studies show that students who participate in activities like music, sports, and drama not only have better grades and attendance, but they develop the character to handle adversity, the grace to accept defeat, and the self-confidence to start over. Take part. Get set for life. Just a reminder, kids who participate in high school activities tend to go a little farther than those who don't. Take part. Get set for life.
All right, welcome back. We're at halftime here at Brand Kwame Field, Fargo South. The Bruins and the Mustangs are all knotted up at 1-1 here at halftime. First goal came from the Mustangs off the foot of Hussein Muhammad, and then that came with about 25 minutes remaining in the first half. And then the Bruins would tie it up late with about 5 or so minutes remaining, and that one came off the foot of Alvin Johnson to bring us to our 1-1 score. Shots on net unofficially in favor of the Bruins, 7-5. Taking a look at the statewide scoreboard here. Once again, all these scores I'm about to share with you can be found on our website or on our Twitter page at ND Sports CH1. Halftime score: boys soccer. Moorhead leads Alexandria 4-0. The Grand Forks Central Knights lead the Fargo North Spartans 1-0 at halftime. Class B volleyball: Northern Cass leads Enderlin 2-0, 25-14 and 25-20. Jaguars rallied from being down 14-7 to come back and win that second set, 25-20. Let's see here. Soccer at halftime, it's all knotted up. Fargo Davies and Grand Forks Red River sitting at a 0-0 tie as of halftime. That was as of about 12 minutes ago, so I would suspect that the second half of that game just recently started here. And Class B volleyball final, Trenton defeats White Shield 3-0. I don't have a set-by-set score on that one. At last check, Napoleon Gackle Streeter led Strasburg Zeeland 1-1. Let's try that again. At last check, Napoleon Gackle Streeter defeated Strasburg Zeeland 25-9 in set 2 to tie the match at a set apiece. That's what I was trying to say. So, and also at last check, the Bruins were up 1-0 over the Valley City Highlanders, winning that first set 25-22. And at last check, the Fargo South boys tennis team was down 5-3 to Red River. Let's see here. No other scores reported at this time. The Weimar Lidger Roberts and Elk Grove Grovers are playing under Coach Lau Sports. You can find that under the stations button at msportsnet.com if that matchup interests you. And let's check one more button here. No, that is it. That is it for updates at this point in time. So we have about 90 seconds here before we get the second half rolling. We'll take another timeout. Be back in a moment on the ND Sports Channel.
Good sportsmanship. It will carry you further in life than sports. Growing up in North Dakota, I learned to respect my opponents, the coaches, and the officials. The values of fairness and teamwork carried me to the highest level in my sport and allowed me to live my dream of playing football in the NFL. It doesn't matter if you're on the stage, the playing field, or in the stands. We are all better when we show respect for others and practice good sportsmanship. Carry yourself with dignity. Being gracious makes the losses easier and the victories that much sweeter. So when the lights on the playing field, the stage, or the gym floor dim, you'll always have pride in yourself.
Thank you. You guys are so amazing.
All right, welcome back here. We're tied up at 1-1 as we get ready to start the second half of play here from Brant Kwame Field at Fargo South High School as they're hosting the Sheyenne Mustangs tonight in an EDC soccer matchup that could determine a new look at the top four here in the EDC. Bruins in their yellow jerseys going from right to left. The Mustangs in their white jerseys going from left to right as you see it on your screen there. And we certainly appreciate you tuning in. If you have any score updates for us, we'd love to get those from you. You can text them to us live right here at the game, 701-373-1843 at last check. Grand Forks Red River and Fargo Davies were tied up at 0-0 at halftime. That game, second half, just started maybe about 5 minutes ago, so they're a little bit ahead of us here at this point. Of course, we have had about 3 yellow cards and then a couple of goals to kind of slow us down here a little bit, but that's a soccer game for you. And so that game, as a result, may finish before our game finishes here.
I was gonna do down.
Hey, don't do that, okay? Thank you very much. I appreciate it. All right, so we apologize there as we had a youngster that we had to kindly tell her not to speak into that microphone there. Hopefully that situation has been resolved. Luckily she didn't say anything that wasn't allowed. We've had that happen in a few game broadcasts in the past, so. That's Alvin Johnson. He scored the goal there for Fargo South late in the first half to tie this thing up at 1-1. Now he tried a nice couple of dribbling maneuvers there. Tried to get it around, and that one will eventually be booted out of bounds over the back line for a goal kick here for Cooper Savelson for the Mustangs. Once again, last check. Grand Forks Central led Fargo North 1-0, and Fargo Davies and Red River were tied at 0-0. As those updates come into us, we'll certainly pass them along to you. So that ball will head out of bounds here for another throw-in. It's time for the Mustangs. Ralstad, and that's almost an own goal and a nice job there. I believe that was Pacifique Sibomana who headed it out. It'll result in a corner kick here for the Mustangs, but if it wasn't for Sibomana, it might be 2-1 Mustangs. It almost looked like Fargo South took a shot on their own goal. I know that's not what they did, but with the speed of the ball and the projection of the ball, that's what it appeared to be, even though that's not what it was. That'll be headed up, and now Fargo South will try and boot it the opposite direction of their goal, and successful up to this point. Comes onto the foot of Alvin Johnson as the band starts to play again. At least we think the band's playing. Johnson picks it up, trying to dribble through midfield there through the defenders, and he does get in front of Aberly. Or no, check that, Sipe. Dylan Sipe was number 4. But now the ball is poked away, and it's picked up there by Aberly. Ball ricochets around. It's back on the other side of the field. Back and forth here between Austin Scott. Now Scott tried to feed it up, got ricocheted. And now the Mustangs will collect the possession as a result. Far side, it's Robin McGar. And now, and we apologize for that. That's something we're gonna fix tonight. So the throw will come in. It was initially touched up there by Hussein Muhammad, but then the Bruins will recollect the possession, drop it back, and they'll have to chase it all the way back. It's chasing up on it there as the audio seems to be cutting in and out, and I apologize for that. Ball goes out of bounds along the far sideline. He dropped back, now advanced up by the Mustangs, and nice pass there, but getting there first was past Lafiq Sibomana. Hussein Muhammad also battling for it in the far corner there. Will eventually go out of bounds and a throw in for the Mustangs. Puar will scoop that one up. Be patient a little bit, allow his teammates to get down the field, and bounced a couple times and booted away. High far sideline around midfield, just shy of midfield, it'll drop. Mustangs will take possession of it and try and bring it back the other way. And that's Aberly who touches up on it now, and now a whistle. I didn't see the official on the near side. I don't know if she put up her camera for offside or not. I don't think he was offside, but maybe he was. South trying to chip it in there, and now they're going to try and keep it on this end of the field. But Mustangs will collect possession of it. That is Holly Jr. And come back to Elvin Johnson. Johnson scored the goal earlier. Now trying to work around a couple defenders here. He's got two men on, and those two men are Dylan Sipe and Brady Lambert. And Johnson trying to get around it. The ball roll back to Austin Scott. Scott will advance it up, and a shot on net, and that one's swallowed up by Puar. Moorhead boys soccer score update. Moorhead 5-0 now over Alexandria, and Yusuf, I forgot his last name. I know it starts with an A, but he has a hat trick. And that fifth goal was the hat trick goal for Yusuf. The Deacons and the West Fargo Packers, they're tied 1-1. They're heading into set 3. That was as of about 5 minutes ago. Once again, that matchup can be found on msportsnet.com under the stations button. You click on Shanley TV.
In for the Bruins, number 11, Zachary Muhadin.
We have a couple volleyball finals for you here. We'll pass those along momentarily. So right now for the Mustangs, it's Hawley Jr. trying to advance it up to Caden Aberly. Aberly with a shot on goal that angles to the right side of it. Nice attempt there by Aberly for the Mustangs, but unable to put it in. Results in a goal kick here for Fargo South. Class A volleyball final, Bismarck Demons defeat the Watford City Wolves 3-0, 25-12, 25-17, and 25-8. Then a Class B volleyball final, Findlay Sharon Hope Page defeats Griggs County Central 3-0, 25-18, 25-12, and 25-19. If we get more finals, we'll pass them along to you here. Another Class B volleyball final for you. Rugby defeats Ned Rose 3-0, 25-23, 25-15, and 25-17. Underwood defeats Standing Rock 3-0, 25-22, 25-17, and 25-20. Right now, down the near sideline here for Fargo South is Nobin Gurung. Gurung saw that ball taken away, and now it's on the foot of Abraham Hawley Jr. Jr. will advance it up, loose ball, and it's a race for it. They'll pop it back, or at least I was under the impression they were going to pop it back to Puar. But the Bruins will recollect possession, and now it's taken away here by West Fargo Cheyenne's goal scorer, Hussein Muhammad, who move it over to the far side, and now probably looking for another centering pass. Another shot on goal goes up a little bit high. So both teams, according to our numbers now, have 8 shots on goal. So here's the kick to the near sideline. Bruins will let it roll, and now they'll try and advance it up, but it's intercepted there by
the Mustangs, number 22,
Honest
Soren
Mohammed.
Kaster.
And that's who number 22 is. It's Kaster. Okay, so we'll have to write that one in, and I don't have a pen to write it in with. We'll just remember it. Kaster, number 22 for the Mustangs. And what do you know? It's an orange pen, just like I have the roster. Way to go. If he was an official employee, he would get a raise. And whoever is his manager, wherever he may be employed at, he deserves a raise just for that. We'll talk about that off air. So it's a final now up in Northern Cass as they defeat the Enderlin Eagles 3-0. Also a final, Carrington defeats Park River Fort Villankin 3-0, 25-21, 25-19, and 25-17. Once again, that's Carrington over Park River Fort Villankin. And I'm trying to get a set-by-set score on the Northern Cass Enderlin. All I know is that the Jaguars swept the Eagles 3-0. And there's that set-by-set score that I was looking for. Northern Cass, 3 sets to none, 25-14, 25-20, and 26-24. A close one, an exciting one in set 3 there. Sydney Anderson for Northern Cass gets 11 kills. Lucas for the Jaguars, 9 kills and 5 aces for the Jaguars. Danica Wendell with 2 aces for the Enderlin Eagles. So in the volleyball game between Fargo Davies and West Fargo Sheyenne, they are tied at a set apiece. Fargo Davies winning the first one 25-20, and West Fargo Sheyenne winning the second one 25-20. So they're tied at a set apiece in that matchup. Here it's still 1-1. Both goals scored early in the second half and late, or check that, early in the first half and late in the second half. And a yellow card here will stop the clock with 23-22. Some of the Fargo South fans asking for what? And I don't have to repeat it. I'm sure the ref heard that one. I honestly didn't see what happened either, but we respect the calls of the officials on the field. Whether or not they can be proven if they're the right or wrong call. So free kick here, setting up from about 46 yards away from the goal for West Fargo Sheyenne. Tied at 1 with about 23-22 remaining here in the second half of play. Another Class B volleyball score for you. Hillsborough Central Valley defeats North Border 3 sets to none. As the free kick goes inside the 6 and it's headed up and over the goal. I believe that might be a corner kick. We'll see here. Set score there for the Burros and the North Border Eagles game was 25-17, 25-19, and 25-14. So once again, the Burros defeating the Eagles 3 sets to none in that Class B volleyball matchup. Now Mustangs will try and bring it up the near side of the field here. Some nice ball movement there by West Fargo Cheyenne's Jackson Kuznia, the junior defenseman, to bring that up quickly.
And for the Mustangs, number 4, Dylan Sight.
So throwing from the near side here for Jackson Kuznia. And that'll be booted away immediately there by the Bruins and recollected by West Fargo Cheyenne's Dylan Sipe, who just checked into the lineup. Now he gets it up to Aberly. Aberly trying to get around a couple defenders, and he may have gotten unintentionally tripped up here. And we forgot to start our clock, so let's make that adjustment. race for it to the outside, and it's picked up here. And that is Puar actually booting it out there for Fargo South.
In for the Bruins, number 6, Taylor Labungo.
So once again, 1-1 here between the Bruins and the Mustangs, with about 20 minutes remaining in the second half. 20:07 and counting to be exact. Battle for the ball at midfield there. Neither team with clear possession at the moment. Just back and forth it goes. Mustangs, for the moment, appeared to have it. And as soon as I say that, the Bruins get it right back. It'll be Shujan Gale in for the Bruins, number 14. And now coming up the near sideline, it's poked away and taken away by Anas Mohammed. And there's the goal scorer for the Mustangs, Mohammed. He'll feed it up far side of the field there for Holly Jr., but he'll have to chase it out of bounds and the ball will win the race. Once again, if you miss the Warbirds Oak Grove volleyball game, that will be a simulcast on our station a little bit later this evening, so you can catch that game. Same with the Skyhawks game against Wilton Wing. Both of those will be simulcast on our station a little bit later tonight. The only reason why they're not live on our station is because we're live with this soccer game here. Can only be live at one time, at least with our equipment at present. Taking a peek through the binoculars here. Through a blurry set of binoculars, let's put it that way. Clock is stopped with 18:57. And now will we get back to action here? We'll start our clock when the clock reaches the 18:11 mark. So until then, you're guaranteed that there's more than 18:11 remaining in the game here. South trying to advance the ball up here, but the Mustangs just being a little bit of a nuisance there for Fargo South, as they cannot seem to get the ball much further beyond midfield. And do we have another stop in the clock here? Or we have a whistle for sure. And we do have a stop in the clock. The clock stopped at 18:10. We had to start our clock at 18:11. And it will be another water break here with 18:10 and counting to go. It's 1-1 between the Bruins and the Mustangs. We'll be back in a moment here after the water break on the ND Sports Channel.
Magnitude Sports Media Network is your home for all types of sports programming in a 3-state region. Over 500 previous games are available right now on demand. Since 2017, we've brought you an average of 275 games a year, including junior varsity and varsity matchups across 8 different sports. Now we're on pace for the same amount of games this year. It's a whole lot of sports, and it's all right here, where North Dakota, Minnesota, and South Dakota teams play. This is the Magnitude Sports Media Network.
This isn't Madison Square Garden. These drills probably won't make anyone a #1 draft pick. But these players are practicing for something important. While they work on their jump shots, they're also learning teamwork, discipline, self-confidence, how to deal with wins and losses. Skills that will make them winners long after they leave the court. Support high school activities in your community, because when kids take part, they get set for life.
All right, welcome back. 18:10 to go here in the second half. We're coming out of a water break. Once again, we started this game with a temperature of 91 degrees. We are now down to an even 80, and I checked that just a few seconds ago, so that is pretty close to accurate. Not an official weather station here, just reporting what the weather apps tell us.
Get the ball!
And it appears that the Skyhawks and the Wilton Minor Wings are going into set 5 as I'm watching that live on a side monitor here from the press box at Brant Kwame Field. That set just starting 0-0. So I'm assuming that one's tied at 2-2. And right now it's tied 0-0 in the fifth set there. Alvin Johnson will touch up on the ball here along the near sideline, trying to push through the defenders. Now he finds a seam. Can he get a shot on net? That is the question. No, it'll be booted out of there. I believe it was maybe Dylan Sipe who booted it out of there, possibly Robin McGarr. It was Dylan Sipe who booted it out of there. So near opportunity there for Fargo South to maybe take the lead, but not yet. Close, but not yet. And here's a couple of other nice passes. And that ball will eventually find its way back out towards midfield where, Aberly and Mohammed had a little confusion there who was going to pick up the ball. And now Mohammed will advance it over the far side there. And now the centering pass will come back in the direction of Aberly. But that will be poked away there by the Bruins. Right now the Skyhawks lead 3-0 over the Miners in set 5 of that volleyball matchup. That's being played at Shiloh Christian School in Bismarck. We'll keep you updated on that score as they continue to come into us here. We're also trying to find out a little bit more information on what's happening up in Grand Forks between Red River and Fargo Davies. That game should be coming close to final here as we have about 15 minutes to go in this one. And a nice foot movement there by Muhudin. Now the ball's popped up inside of the box, headed away in onto the foot there of Robin Magar. Magar will boot it up far sideline onto the foot of Hussein Muhammad. And we just got that final, and this is huge. Fargo South really needs to get a goal now because Fargo Davies has lost to Grand Forks River by the score of 1-0. That one maybe comes as a little bit of a surprise, but it is what it is. Grand Forks Red River now defeating Fargo Davies 1-0. That means if Fargo South wins this game, they are alone in first place in the EDC. And that certainly goes in favor of the Mustang fans, too, as we have another pause on the field here. We need to make an adjustment to our clock. So 14:44.
Some EDC score updates in soccer tonight. Davies lost to Red River 1-0.
And you hear a slight amount of clapping in the background there for that score announcement. Once again, we're at 14:44 to go here. Class B volleyball score just went final. Kindred defeats Lisbon 3-0. 25-14, 25-20, and 25-15. At last check, Grand Forks Central led Fargo North 1-0. That was a halftime score. We don't have an update on that one at the moment. And now we do have an update. Grand Forks Central defeats Fargo North 1-0. So that is officially final now. 3-0 win for TGU over South Prairie in high school volleyball. And Delax Burlington defeats Ray 3-0, 25-18, 25-15, and 25-9. So once again, with the Grand Forks Central win over Fargo North and the Grand Forks Red River win over Fargo Davies, we will take a look at the EDC standings in our post-game show because that makes things very interesting. Fargo South absolutely would love to get a win here, as that would put them alone in first place in the EDC standings if they can pull away with a win. Matter of fact, even a 1-1 tie would put Fargo Davies in first place by 1 point. They would have 20 points compared to Davies 19, but if Fargo South wins this game, they would have 22 points compared to Davies 19. So a tie or a win here for Fargo South puts them in the lead in the EDC alone at first place. So this is good news. The way it stands right now, it's good news for Fargo South. Now we'll see how West Fargo Sheyenne can finish out this game. With the announcement of the score earlier, I'm sure that perked the ears of both the head coaches here for the Bruins and the Mustangs.
Come on, Mustangs!
Another score update. Grand Forks Central beats North 1-0.
The West Fargo Packers now lead the Deacons 2-1 heading into set 4. Don't have a set-by-set score on that one, but we will try and get that to you in our post-game show. Another whistle and waiting for the hands to go on the X formation here, maybe? Nope. Clock's going to continue to roll. It'll just be a verbal warning. So a little under 11 minutes to go, or a little under 12 minutes to go, excuse me. And Strasburg Zealand defeats Napoleon Gackel Streeter 3-2. I don't have a set-by-set score on that one yet. Garrison Max defeats Powers Lake 3-0, 25-16, 25-12, and 25-19. Des Lacs Burlington defeats Ray 3-0, 25-18, 25-15, and 25-9. Some tennis scores for you. Grand Forks Central 9-0 over West Fargo Cheyenne. Fargo Davies 9-0 over the West Fargo Packers. Fargo North 7-2 over the Wapton Huskies. Shanley 6-3 over the Valley City Highliners. And Grand Forks Red River 6-3 over the Fargo South Bruins. Once again, all those are boys tennis scores. And Moorhead continues to roll over Alexandria as they're currently leading 7-0.
In for the Bruins, Chesson Coleman.
So we have another pause in action here. And with that, we'll take a break. Be right back.
Diamond Academy and Magnitude Sports Media Network are providing a huge opportunity for high school athletes. Player profile videos shine the spotlight on a skill set required for a position in a particular sport. Whether you play softball, track and field, or any other sport, if you're a sophomore or junior, it's time to schedule your video. Most tapings take less than an hour and can save you thousands when a recruiter puts your name in the starting lineup for a college scholarship. For more information, click on Player Profiles at msportsnet.com or...
All right, returning to action. New goalie in for Fargo South as Puar went out on an injury. Not sure who that is. The other goalie I have on the roster is not who's in goal right now for Fargo South, so we'll try and get that for you. Ball comes down to the near sideline here. And now a whistle.
Where's the card? Come on!
A lot of whistles in this game, a lot of stoppages. Let's see if the clock actually started this time. Yes, it did. Awesome. I'm getting to wondering if those buttons weren't working on the clock there, but apparently they are. So free kick from the near side here. That's headed away by Fargo South. Mustangs collect it, top of the 18, then it's booted away by Fargo South again. Chasing after it, far side was Robin McGar, the senior midfielder for the Mustangs. Ball will go out of bounds for a Mustang throw-in. And the throw-in will come in. Fargo South trying to work the ball out there, and Mohammed almost poked it away. Now loose ball, and that'll be picked up by Mohammed. Fires it over far side there to, I believe that's Holly Jr. No, that's Melvin Dennis, excuse me. I believe that was a shot that got deflected. I don't think that intended to go to the center of the field there. And now we have another whistle and a free kick here for Fargo South. So just crossing the 9-minute mark now here with a little under 9 to go in the second half of this one. We're tied at 1-1. If it remains tied, Fargo South will be number 1 in the EDC. If they win, they'll be number 1 in the EDC. And if they lose, then Fargo South and West Fargo Cheyenne will be tied for number 1 in the EDC. All thanks to a Grand Forks Red River win over Fargo Davies. So So a tie or a win for Fargo South puts them number 1 in the EDC all alone. A loss here by Fargo South would tie the Mustangs and the Bruins at number 1 in the EDC. Don't have any scores on any games from out west in the WDA as far as soccer is concerned, but we will certainly pass those along to you if they come our way. Girls soccer final, Moorhead defeats the Cardinals 3-1. Also, Class A volleyball, Fargo Davies defeats West Fargo Cheyenne 3-1, 25-20, 20-25, 25-14, and 25-23.
Coming in for the Bruins, number 13, Riley Martin, and 00, Krishna Puwar.
Once again, all the final scores that I've mentioned to you can be found on our Twitter page. I do have one final from out west. Oh, no, check that. That's not a final. That's a volleyball score. Jamestown and Mandan are tied at a set apiece, 23-25. I believe the first set went to Mandan, and then Jamestown comes back 25-21 in the second set to tie it up at a set apiece. And Fargo Shanley and West Fargo tie 1-1. That unofficially puts an end to the West Fargo season as far as any chance of getting to the state tournament. Fargo Shanley, the tie doesn't help them too much either in the EDC standings. So that tie between West Fargo and Fargo Shanley will certainly separate the top 5 from the bottom 3. And the only team you really have to worry about now is Grand Forks Red River and Grand Forks Central, a battle for that 4th spot in the EDC. Once again, the top 4 teams from each side go to the state tournament, and that state tournament is coming up here in about 1 month from now. Maybe a little less than a month. Be about right between early and mid-October, like that first full week in October will be like right around the 7th or 8th of October, right in that general area will be the state tournament time for soccer. That state soccer tournament will be in Bismarck. And if your team makes the state soccer tournament, I learned earlier today
Pacific Mana.
that Beck TV will have the state soccer tournament.
Packers and the Deacons tie 1-1.
So Ralstad back in the lineup here. He has the ball right now for Fargo South, looking to advance it up, but it got deflected off of Mustang. And then trying to chase it down was McGar there for West Fargo, and he does. Sheyenne Mustang will get it back. Now the ball ricochets around midfield. Just got a text message asking if we'll be live for the state tournament. The answer is no. Beck TV has the exclusive rights to state soccer this year, so nobody else can live stream video that any portion of that state soccer tournament. Those games will be exclusive on Beck TV. So that is the answer to if we'll be at the state tournament. We would love to be there, but no, we will not be there. And the good news is Puar is back in at goalie for Fargo South, as that one just barely escapes the realm of being in the net compared to out of the net. Class B volleyball final for you. St. John defeats the Woodchucks, defeat Harvey Wells County Hornets 3-1, 25-23, 25-19, 23-25, and 25-21. And we finally got a set-by-set score on that Strasburg-Zeeland Napoleon Gackel Streeter volleyball match. That one goes to Strasburg-Zeeland. 3 sets to 2, 25-19, 9-25, 25-16, 22-25, and 15-10. Another Class B volleyball score, Grant County Coyotes. They will defeat Turtle Lake Mercer McCluskey 3 sets to 1. And now whistle inside the box, free kick for Fargo South. Set score there is in favor of the Grant County Coyotes, 25-18, 25-20, 13-25, and 25-23. Once again, all these scores that I mentioned can be found on our Twitter page at ND Sports CH1. So about 2.5 remaining here in the second half. We're still knotted up at 1-1 between the Bruins and the Mustangs. So the Bismarck Century Patriots have scored a goal with 19 minutes remaining in the game to tie it 2-2 with their rivals from a little bit south in the city, the Bismarck Demons. Demons ranked number 1. Patriots, I believe, are at number 3 in the WDA right now. So that'd be a big tie. A win would be even better than a tie there for the Patriots, but to get at least a point out of that game would certainly help matters for Bismarck Century. A swimming foul. Minot defeats Williston 110-76. That one was poked away here as the Mustangs will bring the ball back the other way here and advance it upfield quickly, where Lubunga will touch up on it and send it right back. It's headed there by a Mustang defender, and the ball will come loose. And it's picked up there by Fargo South's Riley Martin. Martin will drop it back to Ralstad, who will feed it all the way back to Pawar, who booted back up to just shy of midfield towards the near sideline and out of bounds for a throw-in.
One minute remaining in the game.
So the Oak Grove Wymer Lidgewood volleyball match has now gone final. We've brought that up a few times during our broadcast. Oak Grove defeats the Warbirds 3 sets to none. 25-21, 25-21, and 25-12. And this one here is more than likely going to end in a tie, barring some miraculous play here by one of the two teams in the next 30 seconds. Once again, a 1-1 tie will put Fargo South alone in first place. And if the Mustangs can pull off a goal here in the next 20 seconds, then the Mustangs and the Bruins will be tied at first place. And dangerously close to doing just that.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
There's your final score. It's a 1-1 tie between the Bruins and the Mustangs. We'll take a timeout and be back with your post-game show right after this here on the ND Sports Channel.
Diamond Academy and Magnitude Sports Media Network are providing a huge opportunity for high school athletes. Player profile videos shine the spotlight on a skill set required for a position in a particular sport. Whether you play softball, track and field, or any other sport, if you're a sophomore or junior, it's time to schedule your video. Most tapings take less than an hour and can save you thousands when a recruiter puts your name in the starting lineup for a college scholarship. For more information, click on Player Profiles at msportsnet.com or call us at 701-373-1843.
Download Game Time today.
Magnitude Sports Media Network is your home for all types of sports programming in a 3-state region. Over 500 previous games are available right now on demand. Since 2017, we've brought you an average of 275 games a year, including junior varsity and varsity matchups across 8 different sports. Now we're on pace for the same amount of games this year. It's a whole lot of sports, and it's all right here, where North Dakota, Minnesota, and South Dakota teams play. This is the Magnitude Sports Media Network.
Good sportsmanship. It will carry you further in life than sports. Growing up in North Dakota, I learned to respect my opponents, the coaches, and the officials. The values of fairness and teamwork carried me to the highest level in my sport and allowed me to live my dream of playing football in the NFL. It doesn't matter if you're on the stage, the playing field, or in the stands. We are all better when we show respect for others and practice good sportsmanship. Carry yourself with dignity. Being gracious makes the losses easier and the victories that much sweeter. So when the lights on the playing field, the stage, or the gym floor dim, you'll always have pride in yourself.
North Dakota Softball All-Stars podcast with Tim Howe keeps you up to date year-round on the sport of softball in the state of North Dakota. Coach and player interviews, who's moving on to play college softball, and that, well, guess what? That simply scratches the surface of this Grand Slam softball podcast. A new episode every week during the softball season and every month during the off-season. Listen anytime on demand on the ND Sports Channel, a Magnitude Sports Media Network station.
This isn't Madison Square Garden. These drills probably won't make anyone a #1 draft pick. But these players are practicing for something important. While they work on their jump shots, they're also learning teamwork, discipline, self-confidence, how to deal with wins and losses. Skills that will make them winners long after they leave the court. Support high school activities in your community, because when kids take part, they get set for life. This stage is nowhere near Broadway, and none of these actors will be accepting an Oscar anytime soon. Still, they are rehearsing for something important. While they learn their lines, they're also learning teamwork, discipline, self-confidence, that everyone has a part to play. Skills that will make them stars long after the curtain falls. The National Federation of State High School Associations reminds you that when kids take part in high school activities, they get set for life. National studies show that students who participate in activities like music, sports, and drama not only have better grades and attendance, but they develop the character to handle adversity, the grace to accept defeat, and the self-confidence to start over. Take part. Get set for life. Just a reminder, kids who participate in high school activities tend to go a little farther than those who don't. Take part. Get set for life.
All right, welcome back. Our post-game show starts, and we'll wrap up all in one segment here. We'll select the player of the game coming up here a little bit later on. We'll also go back to our pregame show segment that shows the standings, because those have been 100% updated. So we'll show you who sits where with tonight's wins, losses, and ties. As far as the EDC is concerned, we're still waiting on final scores from on the WDA, so those will be current as of before the game started today, but the EDC standings will be current as of all the finals on the eastern side of the state. Well, let's take a look here. The Mustangs, they will, I don't know, not necessarily say improve, but also not necessarily fall. They'll go to 5-1-5 on the season. 2-1-3 on the road or neutral field, and 4-1-5 against EDC opponents. Coming up next, they'll have what is now a big matchup with Fargo Davies. And then they'll follow that up with another big matchup with Grand Forks Central. And then they'll have the rest of the season. They can potentially cruise through that. We'll see if Shanley might play a little upset there towards the end of September. And then they'll have a non-conference matchup with Moorhead on the 28th and wrap up the regular season with the Spartans on the 1st of October. For your home team, the Fargo South Bruins here, as we take a look at their somebody hit a button here and we're off now. Okay, here we go. Now it works. The Fargo South Bruins 7-2-2 on the year, 6-2-2 against EDC, 4-1-1 here at home. They have a game against Red River that is not necessarily a must-win, but as you look, I would say they definitely want to win those games against Red River and Grand Forks Central, and then they should maybe win the game against Shanley, and then we'll see how the West Fargo game goes. Even though West Fargo's been kind of struggling, they're still a good enough team and probably could give the Bruins a pretty big headache towards the end of the season there on October 1st. So we'll have to see how that all plays out. With that in mind, let's go back to our pregame segment where we take a look at the standings. And once again, these standings are current as of 9:09 p.m. tonight, which is just a couple minutes ago. The Fargo South Bruins, with their tie today, move into first place with 20 points in the EDC, followed by Fargo Davies with 19 points after their loss to Grand Forks Red River tonight by the final of 1-0. Grand Forks Central Knights, as a result of the Fargo South tie, goes up 2 spots from 5 to 3 as they go over the Mustangs and set themselves up pretty well with 18 points in the EDC, and Mustangs with the tie get 17 points, and they are only 1 point ahead of Grand Forks Red River, which sits right outside that state tournament picture with 16 points. West Fargo with 9 points, Shanley Deacons with 5. As I said, that tie with the Deacons today, it's not one officially over yet for the West Fargo Packers, but I wouldn't get your hopes up to seeing them in the state tournament here. But, you know, stranger things have happened. Once again, the top 4 teams from the EDC and the WDA will make your 8-team table bracket in the state tournament. And to answer the question of a couple of viewers who texted us earlier, and for those who may have been just joining in now, we will not have coverage of the state tournament. That is exclusive to another media company, and you can watch those games on that media company. Rumors suggest the only reason they're covering it is because it's in their hometown. So keep that in mind, folks. We'll try and get the state soccer tournament for you next year. Don't take that the wrong way. We respect everybody and what they do. But I know a few people over there, and I've had a few conversations. We'll just leave it at that. So let's get back to our post-game show now. So once again, with the tie, Fargo South with 20 points moves into first place alone in the EDC, followed closely by Fargo Davies and Grand Forks Central and Cheyenne and Grand Forks Red River. Your top 5 teams separated by 4 points. That is going to be a cool finish to the end of the EDC side of the season here for the EDC soccer teams. Let's get back to our post-game show now here, if we can find the right button. And let's go to our player of the game. And let's go ahead and just reveal that player of the game. Maybe. I don't think it's up there yet. That's from the football game the other day. Let's clear that out. And let's put the soccer one up there. How's that one sound? If we can find it here. There we go. Should pop up on your screen right about now. And it does. And there we go. Now you can actually see it. We apologize for that there. So we're going to go with Krishna Puwar, the sophomore goalkeeper for the Fargo South Bruins. Faced 12 shots, saved 11 of them, and allowed only 1 goal. But there were certainly many other opportunities for the Mustangs to get that second, third, fourth, even fifth goal. But Puwar was able to keep him out on all those occasions. So we'll award him our player of the game here for tonight's 1-1 tie with the Mustangs. If you go to our website, msportsnet.com, you can go to our website under the games button, click on on-demand streams, and this game will be available for a 24/7 replay within about 30 to 60 minutes after the conclusion of our broadcast. Also under the games button, you can take a look at the upcoming stream schedule, and you can see our next game is going to be in Barnesville, Minnesota, where the Trojans will host the Breckenridge Cowgirls in our first high school volleyball match of the season. And then we'll get back to football as we'll go from Minnesota. We'll go all the way to the other side of North Dakota, to New Salem, to be more specific, where the New Salem Allen Holsteins will host the Shiloh Christian Skyhawks. That's a mouthful to say. And then we'll have some football live from Valley City. We're still waiting on the teams playing. But we have talked to the individual, and they said that we are going to be doing those games. So that's all I know. I know we have 3 games on Saturday in Valley City, but I don't know anything beyond that. Your guess is as good as mine. And then back to volleyball in Henning, Minnesota, for the Hornets and the Cowgirls. And then back to soccer, Fargo Davies, West Fargo, rematch number 2 of last year's state championship game on Thursday, September 26th. 27th, Devils Lake Central Cass football. And then the 28th, that Devils Lake invite is actually pending. And then that will wrap up the month of September. We'll kick off October 1st in Breckenridge for the Cowgirls, hosting the Wadena Deer Creek in high school volleyball. And then back to swimming right here on the other side of the press box through a door or two, and the Fargo South Bruins will host the Moorhead Spuds in our second swim meet. First one went well. I'm pretty sure this one will go well, and we'll have more of them in the future as well here. And then, of course, all the upcoming games will be found there on our website, and that's always the most accurate source for the games that we'll be broadcasting. You can find us online at social media. ND Sports CH1 is our Twitter handle. Other Twitter handles for other stations are right there. You can subscribe to us on YouTube at youtube.com/ND Sports Channel, and like and follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/msportsmnet. Thanks so much for watching. The final score once again, the Fargo South Bruins 1, the West Fargo Sheyenne Mustangs 1. Bruins now alone in first place with 20 points over Fargo Davies with 19 points in the EDC standings. Some big matchups coming up here over the next couple of weeks to wrap up the season. We'll see how it all pours out. Thanks so much for watching. We'll talk to you again on Thursday from Barnesville, Minnesota on the Minnesota Sports Station. Nothing to change, same YouTube channel. And we'll have the volleyball match, our first volleyball match up there on Thursday night starting right around 7 o'clock. Thanks so much for watching. We'll talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye.